So what's up guys, and welcome back to another video, and we have some more updates today in relation to Fallout 76. A lot of this is to do with various different things such as anti-griefing mechanics, some more information surrounding beta details, some more information surrounding the camp system, and much more as well. You know, Todd Howard has been out there, he's been doing several different interviews with various different websites, which is where all of this information is coming from today. Now I will leave links in the description below to all of this information, including a Reddit post as well from a user known as DocOnMusic, who translated a lot of these articles into English. So again, if you want to check it all out, feel free to do so in the description below. But anyway, jumping straight into the video and starting this off with the anti-griefing mechanic. And one of the questions that Todd got asked during one of these interviews was, how will you keep the spawn killers at bay, and how will you try to limit those who want to make the experience of others frustrating? To which Todd responds, there are several tricks we are implementing to prevent the other players from doing exactly the things that you are describing. For example, at the moment, you cannot kill a player until he reaches level 5. Maybe we will change this rule, but we are aware of the risk because that stuff does not appeal to us either. So that right there is the first that I have heard that you cannot kill a player until he reaches level 5. Now personally, I think this is a good thing because we all know what players are like online, right? No matter what, even if, you know, the vault that you spawn in and start in is a no PvP and no build zone, you will still have those players online that like to go around, they'll circle the perimeter and just wait for new players to come out and then pounce on them. This is just what some people are like online. So implementing a feature like this in is a good thing. You know, let players get out there, get some experience, some levels, some loot and gear first, and then come back and engage in PvP if they wish to. Overall, I think it's a good addition, and again, the first time that I'm actually hearing about this at all. But anyway, moving away from that and moving in to some of the beta details. Now we don't have a release date for the beta yet, but there's the please give us a release date soon. I mean, hopefully they do, and of course when they do, I will be covering it on the channel, so make sure that you are subscribed to stay up to date. But what we do know about the beta from this article is that they are releasing it in stages. Now what they mean by stages, I'm not currently aware of, whether that means that when the beta releases they'll keep updating it constantly, or whether that means that there'll be several versions of the beta that maybe go up and down. So maybe the first version goes up, they try it out, they test it, then they take it down, then they put it back up again with a new updated version of it. Who knows, but it is interesting information nonetheless. And in addition to that as well, another question that was asked about the beta was about character progression and whether or not it would transfer from the beta to the main game. To which Bethesda pretty much responded, or Todd responded, sorry, saying that he doesn't quite know. He wouldn't like to reset the servers, but again, it's kind of like a maybe or maybe not at this point. You know, that is something that we will have to wait and see when the time comes around. Moving on again from that information, I want to talk a little bit about crossplay now. As many of you know, crossplay is kind of like a big subject surrounding gaming in general now. You know, the ability to play from PlayStation to PC or PC to Xbox and PlayStation. And what Todd's pretty much said is that Sony isn't as helpful as he'd like, and is pretty much saying that crossplay isn't happening because of Sony. And we all know what Sony's are like. It's happened in the past, especially with the whole mod situation on Fallout 4, where essentially because of Sony, you couldn't have, you know, the full potential of mods on the PlayStation. On the Xbox, it was somewhat fine. There was a lot of really cool mods that came out for the Xbox, but on the PlayStation, not so much because of Sony. So I don't know the situation with that or how that will unfold, but at the current moment in time, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Moving in to some more details here surrounding trading and quests and stuff. One of the questions was, can players pool their resources? Todd responds saying, yes, you can trade, and you also have your own stash that only you can access. But yes, there is a trading system that is based on bottle caps. Now we already knew that you could trade stuff, right? I mean, whether this be through dropping items on the floor to trade or doing it through a vendor or a bot that they've put into the game. We already knew that was happening, right? But what we didn't know is that you could have your own stash that only you could access. And while I'm still skeptical about this, because while it does say that your own stash that only you can access, is there still a means of other people getting into that stash? Like, can they come to your camp, destroy certain parts of it and loot your stuff? Can they pickpocket, your stash or something like that? Who knows? But that's just, again, one aspect that I didn't quite know, and we'll have to wait and see what actually that entails when the game does release. Some details surrounding the quest, basically asking, if a radio quest would return. Todd said yes, radiant quests are returning, handcrafted ones, and also normal radiant quests as well. And for those of you who don't know, radiant quests are basically quests that randomly select the goal or target location. A lot of these can include things that you'd maybe go to pick up an item or find an item, and then bring it back to sell or bring it back to earn a reward, and stuff along those lines. So it is interesting, and I think it's a good thing that these are returning alongside some of these story-based quests and other types of quests that we will be seeing throughout Fallout 76. Anyway, that leads us into some of the final points of the video, and first talking about fast travel. And Todd pretty much said yes, there will be fast travel, and a question that actually followed up from that was, will there be vehicles or mounts? And Todd pretty much said, no, it's exactly like a normal Fallout game. So yeah, I mean, there will be fast travel. I'm assuming it works exactly the way it does in normal Fallouts, where, if you're in combat, you can't fast travel, and if you're not in combat and you're just roaming, then you have the ability to fast travel wherever you like. And the final thing that I want to cover today is surrounding the camp settlements. Now again, in relation to the question asked, it says, can other players destroy your camp or settlement and steal stuff from you? To which Todd responds, yes, other players can damage it, but only partially, and it costs very little to repair it. Now here is where the new part comes in, which is the reason they did this. It's basically to stop you or other players from greeting other players with this, right? Because if you wasn't able to damage it, there would be ways that you could lock other players in your camp and keep them there forever. It's just the way these type of games work online. If you wasn't able to damage it, you could literally end up stuck in somebody's camp in a kind of griefy situation, and that's the reason why. And that's also the reason why they're making it easy to repair as well alongside that. Now, just because you can damage other people's bases doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be easy. I mean, you can put up base defenses, you can make it difficult for people to actually get there, and even past that, I'm assuming that it is going to have some kind of resistance depending on the materials you use and stuff like that. It probably will have to take quite a bit of damage to get in. It's just the fact that it can be damaged in case of those situations where somebody may get stuck in your camp, or you may try to troll him and keep him stuck there. Is pretty much what they're stating with what they've mentioned there. Now, he doesn't really mention anything about players being able to steal from you. They're kind of just not mentioning anything about that at all. Don't know why. I mean, you guys can take from that what you will. Again, we just don't know anything about it. I mean, maybe you can steal from other players, maybe you can't. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see when the game does release. But anyway, that is pretty much it for the video today. Just wanted to run a couple of updates by you in regards to Fallout 76. Some of this being brand new stuff that has surfaced through these interviews, and some of it being some stuff that some of you out there may have already known. Either way, I hope you guys did enjoy this video today. As always, if you did, feel free to leave a like down below. It's always appreciated on the channel. Subscribe if you are new around for updates on Fallout 76 whenever information releases, and I will catch you guys in the next video.